Welcome, welcome family, welcome all of you to Auntie Lily and Family TV. We are going to mentor ourselves, encourage ourselves, empower ourselves on relationships. We are also going to mentor our kids on career development. Welcome. Welcome family, welcome to Auntie Lily and the Family TV. We mentor, we empower, we encourage on family values. We base our talks on real life experience. We also mentor the youth in career development. Welcome. Our discussion today, I'm calling it a discussion because it is between myself and yourself. When you comment, other people are going to see, we are going to see, and we are all going to input into the discussion. Today we are going to talk about how soon is too soon to move on after divorce or death of a spouse. And Lily has gone through all those stages. She's been married, she's been divorced, she's moved on, and she's lost a spouse. Today we talk about my own real experience. And there we go. Welcome family. A lot of people ask, how soon is it soon or too soon to move on after you have been divorced or you've lost a spouse? Through the discussion, we are going to understand there are factors that should be considered before one moves on. For example, why are you moving on? Are you moving on for love? Are you moving on because your spouse left a gap in finances, you want to fill them in? Are you moving on because you're looking for a father to your children? Are you moving on because you're looking to a mother to your children? Are you moving on because the two of you that are moving together really need to love each other? So to me, once you've answered all these questions, then you are ready to move on. Then you've just met this person. Have you done a proper background check? Those are some of the things you need to look for. So once you are sure why you are moving on and the other person is moving on with you, then you can move on. It can be today, it can be tomorrow, it can be after 10 years, but as soon as you analyze that data and you are moving on for the right reason, then you can move on. I've just been talking to a lawyer and she tells me that a lot of divorces today are due to moving on for the wrong reasons. A lot of people try to talk to them, they moved on for the wrong reasons. And that's why the second marriage is easier to break than the first marriage. Look at me. I was married when I was very young, in college. Then after a few years I get divorced. I'm there looking for the father to my children. I'm there trying to fill that gap. I move on and I realize I made another mistake. So when is it the right time to move on? Make sure the person you're moving on with is just not filling a gap that has been left by the other spouse. Make sure the person you are moving on with is moving on because he really loves you. Make sure that what you're looking for in the new partner, you're actually going to get it. And make sure you're also going to give. It's about give and take, or take and give. Imagine when one of the spouses is moving on, because they want to fill a gap. And the other partner is so sincere, they are moving on because they are falling in love. Then there's going to be a lot of selfishness. Let's take a commercial break and we continue. So welcome back, family. We've been talking about some of the things you should consider as you decide to move on. For me, I had children when I decided to move on. The person I'm moving on with also has children. The biggest question was, I didn't do a background check on the values that these children have been taught. How have they been socialized? There are standards that I have set for my children. There are standards that I have set for each one of them. There are the do's and the don'ts in my family. That may not be the do's and the don'ts in the other family. So as you do the background check, should you be moving on with a single parent who has children, there's going to be a very big challenge there. Because you are supposed as a person to blend with that family. Your children are supposed to blend with the children of that other person. He's supposed to do the same with your children. But you see, if you don't do a proper background check, then you'll be trying to blend a family that cannot be blended. For example, my children. Let me talk about them because I know them better than anyone else. My children are socialized to differentiate between wants and needs. So when my children want us to budget for something, we first list our needs, then our wants. Even in the list of the needs, we prioritize. There's a need which is a bigger need than another one. Then I blend my family with a family where the other children are taught to get whatever they want. I've seen that before, where a parent can give and give and give regardless, as long as that child has asked for that something. And what is the problem with that now? If you brought those two families, you blend them, and then that other spouse is addressing the wants for his children, because that's how he has socialized to them, or she has socialized to them. Then here I am telling my children, we have to prioritize our needs. We are speaking different languages. That marriage is not going to last. Because what will happen would be that you are a very bad stepmother, or is a very bad stepfather, just because the children are socialized differently. There's a time when my children should come home. If you don't come home by that time you have set as a family, then you should explain why. My children should not just wake up and get my car keys and then drive off, and I wake up in the morning and the car is not where it was parked last night. There should be communication. My children should ask for the car before they drive off. And if you are coming late, let me know. Then you are blending that family with another family, maybe where the parent, because they were trying to compensate for the loss of their spouse, did everything to please their children. Surely, viewers, it may not work. So as you do your background check, make sure you also study the other family. Study the other family. Try to find out how the other family is socialized. The language in my house every day is, Mom, I need this. Do you think we can afford? That's the approach in my house. Then we discuss. If we cannot afford, then that is all. If we can afford it now, it is okay. If we can afford it now, then we arrange, we discuss, and we agree when we can afford. What about now this other family that's coming in? When you tell that child, maybe I don't have, they start pulling their mouths. Yes, it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible. So please do a background check. So it is going to be very impossible to blend two families that cannot be blended because the children are being socialized differently. You are trying to discipline this child. I've come across a family where one of the parents has taught her children to do their own washing, cleaning. They clean up their bedrooms, they wash their clothes, they iron them. So she wants to blend them with a single father who has only taught his children, that Mama Fua should do everything. Mama Fua should cook, Mama Fua should iron, Mama Fua should do everything, even wash their soiled clothes. When they soil their clothes, when they are on those days, Mama Fua should wash those clothes. How are you going to blend that family with your family where you have taught your children that they should be responsible? Viewers, I know it is important to move on because it's our right, it's our choice. But where are you moving on to? Have you done a proper background check of the family? And especially if you have children and the other single parent has children, you should really make sure the two families are socialized more or less the same, because actually lack of proper bonding will actually lead to another failure in your marriage. Thank you very much, viewers. I would like to know your experience. We are a family. Please comment. If you like something I've said, please share. And above all, subscribe. Thank you very much, family.